All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start our play our intro video, then we'll jump right into it.
Welcome to Sweet Talk, the Honey Bunch Bake Shop podcast, broadcasting straight from Southwest Fort Worth's favorite family-run bakery. Each episode, we'll peek behind the ovens with owner and operator Keisha Scroggins and her crew, the folks baking up birthday cakes, holiday treats, and everyday sweets for the neighborhood. So settle in, imagine the smell of warm cinnamon rolls, and get ready for some sweet talk from Honey Bunch Bake Shop.
From classic chocolate squares to modern flavor twists, fudge has a story that is richer than you think. Welcome, everyone. I am Frederick, co host and producer here in the studio with Kisha Scroggins, owner and operator of the Honey Bunch Bake Shop. Kisha, how's it going today?
I'm well. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. Thanks. Well, let's dive right in. How do fudge recipes evolve over time?
Well, just for me personally, I like to try a lot of different things. So, my current fudge recipe, I just started making it at home, just for fun with my kids, and then I just started adding different things to it. So, I really love almond flavor. If anybody's been to the bakery, you will notice that a lot. And so, I just tried that, and then I combined cinnamon, and then I also bake with a lot of coffee, and those sound like a really weird combination, but it tastes really good together with fudge. And so it just grew from there. I just like to try different things. I'll have my family members taste things, and we'll say, we don't like this, but try this, and then we'll keep trying it until I get something that I like.
Nice, nice. I like that. It's kind of like discovering as you go, trial and error, and then coming up with the best final recipe. That's amazing. So, what are some of the earliest versions of fudge that you've come across?
So for me, just basic fudge, just chocolate chips and condensed milk, and that's it. Maybe a little vanilla, and that's it. And so just getting used to making it just at home, and then I'm like, okay, well, this is great, but like everybody can make that. Nobody needs to come to my bakery for that. So like I said, I just like to try different things, and so I just threw some coffee in at one point, and again, I just love almond flavor, so I just threw that in, and then I used tons of cinnamon as well. So again, just kind of adding things here and there, but it just started out as a basic recipe that you can just find online. I think we just Googled something. It's like, oh, let's just make some fudge, and then it just grew from there.
Nice, nice. What an amazing story. So, how have customer preferences influenced the flavors that you create today?
So people are very comfortable giving their feedback on things that they do and don't like. It is hard with a small business because I guarantee you, every time one person says, I don't like this, don't do that. If you take that out, then someone else is like, why'd you take that out? I really like that. So it's a little bit difficult. So sometimes I've just tried to make like different versions of the same thing because everyone has different tastes, everyone likes different things. So it's just hard to sometimes it's hard to get one recipe that everyone will like. That's almost impossible. But we do try to take feedback from people, and oh, what about this? I like fudge with nuts, and so now I have a version that's got nuts in it. So we just try to take what we can.
That's so true. Everyone has their own preferences, and it is a challenge to please everyone at the same time. So I understand where you're coming from. And with that in mind, like, do you notice any generational differences in what people expect from fudge?
Um, I haven't really noticed that. Honestly, I think the people who try the fudge seem to really like it, but I think a lot of people are afraid to try it just because they're not used to those flavors together. So I don't think I've noticed anything generational. I think I've just noticed that people are just a little bit more apprehensive to try it because it's different. So.
Hmm. Interesting, interesting. So, in a similar note, or on a similar note, how do seasonal ingredients play a role in your evolving recipes?
I do, during the holiday seasons in the fall, do some things with pumpkin spice. I do like cinnamon for us is just year round. I use a lot of cinnamon just all the time, just in general. But we do try to bring in like pumpkin spice. I make different kinds of shortbread cookies, so I only have pumpkin spice during the fall. I do honey glazed pumpkin bread. I only do that in the fall. Things like that. So really the only really seasonal thing that I do right now is the, pumpkin spice during the fall time, holiday time.
Pumpkin spice does sound delicious right now. So I guess we've talked a lot about flavors, and speaking of flavors, have cultural influences or global flavors impacted your fudge making?
Um, Probably not. Honestly, I'll be honest, I'm not well traveled. I have not been out of the country. I don't have a lot of influences from other cultures other than my own, being an African American person in the US. So I would say not as much as, I would love for that to be the case. And maybe one day there'll be some traveling involved. That's just not something that I've, done. And I don't want to try to, if I did ever use flavors from a culture other than mine, I would want to make sure to do it justice and not, do something haphazardly. So I would want to make sure I'm, paying homage and honoring whatever culture that is. So I would be very careful with that, if I ever did anything like that.
Gotcha. I can respect that. Thanks for sharing that. So if there is one, what is one experimental fudge recipe that surprised you with its popularity?
So I've really only experimented with the coffee and then the flavors that I have now. I haven't really done, I've thought about branching out. I just haven't, yet. But I would say the flavor that I have now is the most experimental. I think it's very different. Just the cinnamon and the almond together, and with the coffee, it's just very different. But that's the most experimental I've gotten so far.
Gotcha. Wow, what an interesting journey. With that, thank you so much for walking us through this sweet and very interesting journey of fudge. Appreciate you sharing everything. And for everyone tuning in, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time.
You've been listening to Sweet Talk from Honey Bunch Bake Shop. Sweet on the outside, heart in the oven. Treat yourself and stop by at 6257 Granbury Road in the Hewlin Square Shopping Center or visit honeybunchbakeshop.com. Until next time, stay sweet, Fort Worth.